Hi YouTube world, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time visiting me, hello, welcome. My name's Adrienne, I live in New York and I love playing with makeup. And so that is what we are doing today. This is sort of part 2, technically 3, of my rediscovering my love for STILA Cosmetics. It was one of the brands that I really originally loved many moons ago, and I sort of, I don't know, lost a connection with them. I went and experimented with other brands, and just recently with the release of their tinted skin balm, they really piqued my interest, and I've been playing with them since. And since then I have purchased more of their releases, and I wanted to kind of provide an update. So if you didn't see my first 2 videos regarding the tinted skin balm and how it worked for me, I will link those down below just so you can see. It's not a product for everyone, but I'll tell you it is a product for me, absolutely. So some of the products that I received since then, I got their new mascara, which is called the All Day Mascara. I don't think I've ever tried their huge extreme lash mascara, so I have that one too. I thought I would do one eye to see the difference. I got one of their tinted lip vinyls. I had tried their revamped version of the lip glaze that I used to love back in the day, and I didn't care for it. It was now like minty and plumping, and that's not something for me. I also picked up one of their Putty blush bronzer duos, one of these here. Super cute packaging, and these are the shades I picked up. This is Lilium. I also picked up their powder. So this is like their one-step corrector, but in a powder form. So I thought that would be very interesting and might play very well with the skin tints. Also picked up a few palettes, eyeshadow palettes. One I did a dedicated video of. I love this one. That's why I did a dedicated video of it. It's gorgeous. It's so beautiful. So this is the Camouflage Beauty palette. So I'll link my 5 looks that I did with this. I really love this palette. And because I loved it so much, I picked up this one, the Nobility palette, which also has like camo packaging, but in like a pink. And this is the color scheme in this one. So much rosier, lighter, very different. The other little palette I picked up, which was also on sale, was the Heaven's Vault palette. This is considered the Kaleidoscope eyeshadow quad. Kaleidoscope seems to be a term for some eyeshadows that they have, sometimes in singles, sometimes in duos. And I think it's like a special metallic or glittered formula for them. So I picked this little guy up, and it is beautiful. I know there's a lot of mixed reviews on Ulta about how fragile it is, but thankfully it came to me all in one piece, and I really love some of those shades. I think I'm going to be playing with these 2 today. So I think that is the extent. I have some other original products I'll be using, like the One Step primer, color correcting primer. I also have a Convertible color in Magnolia, which I might put on my cheeks depending how deep I want to go. And I do realize I picked up also a eyebrow pencil, Sketch and Sculpt brow pencil in medium. This one here, it's a tiny pencil. So yeah, if that interests you all and you want to hear my thoughts about these products, just stay tuned. Alrighty, my lips are feeling a little dry, so we're going to put on some moisturizing chapstick and get this started. So I hope everyone's doing well. It's a very overcast day, but still pretty light in the day, so pretty excited. I'm just putting some of that color correcting primer on. My face is pretty moisturized, and when I used the tinted skin balm from STILA, it's a very hydrating skin balm, so I don't like to add too much underneath because then it could look a little greasy, and I don't want that to be the case. But I like this primer. I like that it does take down some of my redness. I'll apply some more. I've been using this primer on and off for years, but you see already, like, laying it down, the color correcting it does. It is quite a nice product, and it isn't too heavy. I feel like half of it evaporates, something about the formula. Just using the shade number 2 in the Tinted Moisturizer Skin Balm, and I do have the recommended brush with it. I do feel like this brush makes a difference. It's like a perfect combination, perfect texture. I just wish they would have sold it together. I know for a while Ulta was giving it away when you purchased a skin balm, and that would have been like such a great deal. I bought this right the day it released because the sound of it just was so intriguing to me. For my combo dry skin, I just feel like this one is perfect. It doesn't settle into lines. It gives me a decent amount of coverage. Just want my skin to look real nice and more even. It doesn't have to be perfect. I don't ever want to look perfect. I think imperfect is beautiful. I think imperfect is more beautiful than perfect. I mean, of course, I love the fantasy too, and I like playing that way with the makeup too, but for day-to-day, and I do feel like this is a day-to-day product, I just really, really like that. And a lot of times I'm not putting additional product in, I'm just switching back and forth and blending. As this product warms up on your skin, I just feel like it looks better and better and better. So I'm trying to just agitate it a little bit with the brush, but it's not that I'm adding more coverage or anything. I'm just agitating it because this is not something to put on with your fingers. And I do like putting on makeup with my fingers, but this is not a good product for that because the texture's too, almost has a weird waxy. I mean, it's a balm. It feels like a balm. So that's that coverage there. Pretty happy with it. I feel like very luminous, and it covered pretty nicely. Before I go in with the finishing powder, which I love this packaging. It's such beautiful packaging. I wanted to play around with this guy. So this is the bronzer and cheek putty. Now, I noticed something which I'm gonna be a little critical with. This comes in 4 shades, but the only shade that's swapped out is the blush. All the bronzers are the same color, and I feel like that was a mistake. I feel like STILA really should have created some products that could be deeper or even lighter. Like, this is still pretty deep for someone with fair skin. And I feel like they picked a mid-tone color and they thought that that would be universal, and then, you know, they could just swap out the blushes. What would have been cool is if they got like this type of component and you could pop out and put the type of putty, bronzer, or blush that you want into it. But they do need bronzers that are a bit deeper, a bit cooler toned. This one has a little bit of orange, but has also some rosiness, which happens to be pretty nice on me and my skin tone, but I don't know how many more skin tones this is gonna really work on. I feel like on deeper skin tones, this would make a very pretty blush, almost like a peachy brownie blush, but I don't think it's gonna be a bronzer, honestly. I just really don't. And so there, I feel like that was a misstep in the creation of this product. But what is nice about the product is if you were a fan of the convertible colors, which are a much creamier formula, they're not a putty formula. The fact that they're coming out with this in the same shades as the convertible colors, in some of their iconic shades, I think is gonna make a lot of people happy, because I feel like if you've been a fan of STILA for a while, you have your favorite convertible color shades. So you see, as I build it up, it's definitely more warm leaning. Not my ideal color of bronzer, but it doesn't look terrible. As I blend it in, it's actually quite a nice color on me. It's just, again, not one that I would normally go to. I would probably go for something just tiny bit cooler, tiny bit rosier typically, or toastier. This is sort of like an in the middle shade, and that's where I'm struggling. I will go ahead and pick up Lilium on the same. I'm using e.l.f. stipple brush, and I'm picking up that, and I'm not being gentle with it. I like this putty formula. It's like the MAC putty cheeks, and I feel like with this formula you can be quite aggressive, which I like. So I think the texture of this putty over the Skin Balm works really well. It doesn't add a lot of like more dew, it just complements the dew that's already there, and the products seem to meld really nicely. So I'm really liking that. I'm gonna go ahead and use that powder. So this is the One Step Correct Brightening Finishing Powder. So this one, I got shade 1. I didn't realize there was more than one shade. I'm gonna go ahead and use this e.l.f. brush. It's really soft, it has a lot of give, and I feel like it would do well with this powder. So I'm just going ahead and mixing all the shades. It's a pretty firmly packed powder, so you're not gonna over apply. What's nice about it though is it just gives slightest mattifying effect and setting effect that I feel really helps the Tinted Skin Balm. Because I could tell that the Tinted Skin Balm, since I've gotten it, it's really just been quite cool here and dry in New York. But as we edge into the summer months, the spring months, the humidity is rising, sweat, having something like this, really nice, lightweight, just brings down that finish of uber creaminess, and it just sets it down ever so lightly without really taking it too down that you're losing what's beautiful about the Tinted Skin Balm. I hope that makes sense. So that is the powder, and I think it looks so nice, and it really does help set the tackiness. Like, my face is not tacky at all right now. Also didn't blend out that blush or that bronzer, so I still have that color. Next up, I'm going to use the eyebrow product. So again, I got it in medium. On one side is a spoolie, and it's very thin, very small, very much like the Anastasia skinny pencil. But what I like about this is the color. The color is on me, it's really like taupey, cool tone brown, and it's so easy. It's just so easy. I know it's so boring to see people put on their eyebrows or fill in eyebrows, but I just wanted to show you, at least with one, the difference. Like, that just looks so natural, and it was 1 second. So I don't know if it's the type of pencil that is this product or the shade in particular, but I'm really, really, really liking this. And I like the cooler, softer toned pencils because it doesn't clash with the grays in my hair. My hair base is very, very dark, but now I have quite a lot of grays that I'm letting grow in and blending and all that good stuff. And I want my eyebrows to reflect kind of both colors if possible. And I feel like these lighter colors do that. If I go too dark, it just looks a little silly. I mean, it's dramatic and it's its own thing for sure, but on me, I just feel like this softer eyebrow look is really more flattering. So I'm having fun playing with it that way. But those were my eyebrows. I mean, I'm not gonna do anything more to them. I just feel like really easy pencil. I suspect I would go through this product pretty quickly. That would be my one critique. It is very, very tiny. Let's see if I can see how much product it actually has. So this has 0.04 grams of product, and I'm curious to see how much a comparable, let's look at a Precisely My Brow. Wait, what? All right, So I don't know that I can stand behind this product. This product has 0.04 grams of product. Precisely my brow, which is very much the same type of small tip. I just want to show you. Maybe the Stila one is just even slightly smaller, so it's slightly more precise, but this has half the amount of product as this pencil. Now, I do think that this pencil is a lot more. However, I feel like you can buy this in kits and in a bundle pack of 2, and you can get this for the price of this. So I'm not sure. I still think I mean, I love this color and I'm loving this color, but I haven't tried all shades of the Precisely My Brow color. I know there's gray. I'm actually quite interested in trying it because I wonder if that's, you know, what that's gonna look like on me. Maybe I will pick that one up next time I'm shopping around. Okay, let's get into eyeshadow because that's really the star of the show. I'm not gonna prime my eyes because it's just not something I normally do. And I have been playing around with these shadows. I will insert swatches of this palette. I'll show you the swatches here right now. And I will live swatch these for you because I didn't do that before, but I will insert also the swatches of this one at the end. So this is a very soft, could go more peach, it could go more rose, it could go a tad bit deeper. This palette compared to, let's say, the other Camo palette that I have, this one has a lot more depth. I feel like the textures are much more impressive on this palette. That being said, this one does have some really beautiful shades. This shade here is gorgeous. This shade here too is really, really beautiful. And I like having this light bone color, but having these shades all within this type of tonal range without having a deeper shade was, I think, a misstep in this palette. I feel like you do need some level of depth, and this palette doesn't have that, which would be my main criticism for this palette. But the shadows perform really beautifully. So very similarly to the green Camo palette, I feel like this formula is beautiful. It just blends itself. There is, like the other palette, there are 3 true mattes, 1 matte that has micro glitter in it, and 3 or 4 kind of metallic, creamy metallic shades. Creamy buttery, but I mean, they're still dry. They are dry shades. But you see, like with very little effort, the colors blend out really, really beautifully. I just think this one isn't going to show up on all skin tones. That was this peachy shade right here. I'm going to go in with this deeper shade here in the corner to see if I can build that up ever so slightly, but it just doesn't build up because it's just not enough contrast. So that's when I said, you know, maybe I want to use some of that Kaleidoscope color. Like I'm putting that bone color just right up above. And look, on a day where I want a really nice light eye look, I would totally just leave it here, put on mascara, and it would be a pretty wash, like a very feminine wash of color, and it would be flattering and I'd be happy. I have decided I will live swatch the metallics because I feel like that's what a lot of us kind of respond to. So the 4 metallics, just so you can see, this really gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous metallic pink. This is a deeper, deeper rose. This is gorgeous. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous shade. Then we have this one here, which is more champagne peach color. And I feel like that's a color so many people would really love and respond to. Then we have this color here, which is this really smooth copper. Like this is a true, true copper shade, has a lot of really nice brightness. And you see that champagne color, it's just so pretty. And then last but not least is this shade here, which is similar to has some of that coppery orange. It's almost like if these 2 colors had a baby, that's when you get that color. So those are the metallics in the palette. So it's quite pretty. You put any of these over a shade like this, and I think you would have a stunning, stunning look. I do, however, want to show you what it's like to use that other smaller palette, the Kaleidoscope palette, because I do think that one's special. This one just feels like it's a lot of fun. And this, I think, is a companion palette, a total companion palette, but I want to go ahead and swatch all the colors for you so you can see how pretty it is, and we'll figure out what we want to do there. These layer really well too. So this is one shade. So very similar to that other color, but this one is brighter, a brighter pink, and has more reflective quality in it. Then you have this purple. Oh, it's so beautiful. It's such a pretty purple. It has depth to it, but it's not so black based that you lose the violet of it all, which I love. Then you have this color, which is similar again to that sort of mixed shade that I showed you in the other palette, but this one's just a little bit lighter. It has more sparkles in it. So the quality of it is different. Instead of it being more metallic and smooth, it's actually more sparkly. And then you have this shade here, which is similar to that copper, but it has more red in it. And yeah, I just think these are beautiful. This shade above this shade, or this shade above this shade, really do beautiful things too. So this pink over that purple, you can see just brings another element of glitteriness and loveliness. And then that shade here mixed in with that, just very, very pretty. I feel like these are great topper shades, and you can, with a pretty basic palette as a companion palette, be able to tap into this palette and be really happy with the looks that you create. And it's, again, like so slim, so compact. And again, I was very fortunate because mine did not come shattered, though I did read several people say that it came shattered and that you should buy it in store if possible. But I can tell you, I purchased it from STILA. They package their packages very, very well. It comes very, very quick, and I didn't have any issue. I wanted to go ahead and add that purple and pink because I'm feeling that way. And so I'm gonna take that purple color, which I feel is inevitably gonna give me some fallout just because of the texture of the shade. But I'm gonna go ahead and first use it to darken up my outer corner, and then I'm going to buff it. And I find that these shades blend really nicely too. So I'm just adding that as a deepening color. I know that the purple's not coming through, but I don't really want it to at this juncture. I just want to deepen the base a little bit because it was too light over there. You can already tell it just creates already a little bit of depth, which I needed in order to make what I want to do work and not look too piecemeal. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing, take a little bit more of that purple and pack it in to the outer corner. And I'm not being perfect with it because I'm going to take that blending brush and just blend around the edges to smooth it all out. I'm now going to take that purple and I'm going to put it on with my finger because I want to build up that color on my lid. Now that it's blended, I don't have to work so hard, which was the point. And I do have some fallout, but that's okay. I will clean that up. And I'm just going to take that inwards. So I really like that. It's a nice smoky look. I enjoy that. That's right up my alley. I'm going to take my pinky and I'm going to take that pink shade from the Kaleidoscope palette and I'm going to pack it into the inner corner of my eye and overlap it a third of the way in with that purple. And this is such a pretty, it has these really pretty glitters in it, and it's just such a beautiful shade. And I love that kind of ombre effect. It's definitely, you know, more dramatic nighttime. Felt like if I just stuck with this, I could totally do a pretty day look, but I wanted to show you guys how nice those topper shades are from that other palette. I'm gonna do the same thing to this other eye, and I'll hop back on and we will play with some mascara. Just cleaned up my under eyes. I wanted to show you this mascara. This is the All Day Stay Mascara. I've been playing with this over the course of the last few days. I just want to show you, it has a very interesting wand. So this wand here, I don't know if you can see, it has like more natural hair bristles on this side spaced out, and then it has two combs on this side that are synthetic, you know, kind of that plastic comb with all this product that collects in the middle. Now, I'm not sure how I'm supposed to be using this mascara because I'm struggling a bit. It's quite wet. It's a quite wet mascara, so very easy to get everywhere. I've tried the natural bristle side and I like the effect. It feels like very natural. It's like a one step up from natural. And then when I turn it around and I use this crazy curved side that distributes product, my eyelashes become quite wet with that product. So I'm wondering if I'm supposed to use this kind of double-sided side first, get all that product onto my lashes, and then go back in with the natural bristly brushy side and comb that through. And I feel like that's the right thing, because what happened to me the first time is I tried one side and then I tried the other, and what I found was it applied so much of the product onto my lashes just went straight down. They were sopping wet and they just straight down, and I was like, uh-oh, this isn't what I want from my mascara for sure. What is interesting about this mascara, it is a tubing mascara. So what that means is, of course, if you've never used one before, this is the type that comes off with just some warm water, and you just rub it off and you'll see, like, it'll look like almost like eyelashes are coming off, but really it's a tube that has formed of product around each of your eyelashes and just slides right off versus dissolving. I like the idea of tubing mascaras, but I haven't found one I really adore. I've tried the Thrive Cosmetics one, and I've tried some other ones from miscellaneous Korean brands, but I just haven't found one that really works. But you know, this one's interesting. I think I will hold off saying more about it until I've really tried it out for a bit. And also, sometimes the formula has to dry out a little. I do like this natural bristle side. It's short bristles, so I feel like it really creates a nice natural effect. I don't know if you can see that, but it's why I didn't put eyeshadow underneath my eye. I wanted you to be able to see the mascara. And I just think it creates a real natural, even for the lower lash look. Sometimes you use a mascara and on your lower lash line and it looks silly. It looks not silly, but it looks very dramatic, almost like twiggy, you know, like very dramatic. And I don't like that look on a day-to-day basis. If I'm doing a dramatic eye, sure, but if it's, you know, just run of the mill, I don't really want to. The other mascara, so I just want you to see, it is a pretty mascara. The next one I'm going to try is the Huge Extreme Lash Mascara. This is like a trial size. This is a totally different brush. I have never tried this mascara. This looks almost like Lash Paradise Too Faced Better Than Sex wand. I can see that the formula is not liquidy at all. It is quite stiff. So let's see how this one goes. And I'm trying to put this on so that you guys can see. Now, I do like the drier formula. I just feel like you get a better sense of control from it. Okay. That one's actually quite nice. I am a one dip kind of person when it comes to mascara, so I won't ever put like tons and tons of mascara or layers, just because my lashes are very straight, very long, and they can get very heavy very fast. So any weight mascara will just send them straight down. Actually, they both yielded very similar results. I feel like this one created a nice fluffy look on the bottom, as did this one, and I don't know. It looks pretty. This one maybe looks a little more dramatic. There's just more weight to it, but they're both, I don't know, can you tell? I have to kind of circulate out my mascara. It's been 3 months for both of the tubes I'm playing with, so these will be the tubes I'll be playing with now, and we'll just check it out. Maybe underneath my eyes, I will just add a little bit of color, maybe something a little different. I'll use that other pink shade, so it's not the pink shade that's in my inner corner, it's pink shade in the palette. Just a different texture and tone. It's a little bit deeper, it's a little more foiled, so I'm just going to take that right out to match that, so there's a little more blend. Oh, that's pretty. I like that. I like that. I do have one of the STILA smudge pots, but I don't feel like, in black, I don't feel like doing a real dramatic liner with this on. I just feel the darkness is enough for me with the purple, but I do like their smudge pot. I've never used their like pencil liners or anything like that, so that is something I would like to try one day. So I think that's it for the eyes. Last is this vinyl. So this is a really interesting product, comes in a really cute kind of chubby tube, and I got this mauve color. I thought it would look pretty with it. It has a starburst fruit, the pink starburst. That's what it kind of smells like to me. But this is not a liquid lipstick or anything. This is like a long wear creamy gloss in the shade Speedway. So this is the cream gloss. It's very pretty. It's very pretty. It's a little more purple cool tone than I thought it was going to be. I'm just putting on another layer because the one thing that I have to say is when I think of a product called Shine Fever Vinyl, I would want something glossy, and this, in spite of going on second coat quite glossy, it doesn't stay that way. It is very comfortable though. It doesn't travel. It's not sticky in any way, but it does feel thicker than I like it to feel. So I don't think it's my favorite. I'm still like trying to find a favorite lip product again from STILA, because that other product of theirs, the lip glaze, that was the one back in the day, was my absolute favorite. But maybe I'm going to try to put on something. Hold please. Okay. I'm going off book because one of the things I loved about that lip glaze from STILA in the color Fruit Punch was it was just this really beautiful formula. You know, it was just that. It was like a glaze over your lips, gloss. It had color, but it wasn't too opaque, and it sort of reminded me of this new color from a cream gloss that I got from Fenty, which on camera looks like insanely bright, but it's not as bright as you think. And this is the color Bubble Binge, and this really reminds me so much of the STILA Fruit Punch. One light layer of this blotted down, and this was the color Fruit Punch from STILA for sure. Like, this was the color. It was just this really pretty lively pink. I loved it. It just made me feel very springy, and I like that combo. I think it's fun because you have the darkness of the eyes, this is very dramatic, but you have some pop of color. So that's all I had. I really have been enjoying a lot of what STILA has come out with. Again, if I were to recommend products from this bunch, I still will say that I prefer this palette. I would get like this palette and this palette, and I feel like you could get a lot of that pink peachiness, the really pretty purple looks. I feel like these two could make very nice companion palettes. Still like this palette, but I'm not over the moon with it. I don't think if I hadn't played with this one, and I played with this one first, I probably wouldn't have purchased this one, if that makes sense. I really do like the Putty blush. I think it's really, really pretty. It plays well with the Tinted moisturizer balm that I've been enjoying. And I do like this powder too. I'm on the fence about the mascaras. I have to play around with them more. I'm on the fence about the lip product. I have to play with an eye look that I feel would go more with it and maybe wear it for all day long to see how I really feel. And I really like this eyebrow pencil, but I'm also on the fence with it because it is quite small for what you get, and I'm wondering if I just shouldn't venture into some of the tawnier, taupier, grayer tones in like the Benefit line or drugstore even. Like the NYX I know has some great eyebrow pencils. So we'll see. We'll play around. Let me know what you think. Let me know if anything piqued your interest. Always happy to hear your thoughts, and I hope you guys have a great day. Take care. Bye.